So I'm curious, if you were doing a salsa competition in your classroom, are you a tomato salsa, a fruit salsa, or a guacamole person? I'm waiting to give you a minute. Yeah, fruit salsa. Absolutely fruit salsa. So you can do mangoes in there. You can do mango with some lime juice. You could put some strawberry in there. So it's fantastic. Either on, a really great thing to do with that is if you've taken pita breads and toast them up and put a little cinnamon sugar on them, you use those as your dipping chips. Yeah, and you can also do really fun, if you spread them out on a platter, you have your fruit salsa on the side, and you can make some nice sweet whipping cream to go on top. That is not bad at all on a hot day, either in your classroom or maybe out on your back porch. And in fact, remember I mentioned that there are recipes on the website. You can find recipes for all of these things on the Pampered Chef website. I think I see Ashley and Margaret, fruit sauce, right? Fruit mango, absolutely. Right? And that keeps our vitamin C up, which keeps us healthy in our classroom. There are a lot of germs in a classroom. So here are some reasons that I love this manual food processor. These are all the different things that you can make with it. So I've used it, like I said, for salsa and guacamole, sauces and pestos. If you're doing either crushing up crackers or bread for some crumbs, omelets and scrambled eggs, so fast to chop. If you're going to put onions in your hamburger, so fast to chop onions in there. Applesauce, so you could, if you go apple picking in the fall with your students, you can cook up those apples, like soften them up even in the microwave. You can get one of our microwave cookers, soften them up in the microwave and throw them in there. The kids can actually make applesauce in your classroom. You don't ever have to go to a kitchen with the kids. You don't have to go and take your knife skills class. Egg salad, tamponade, even smoothies. I just did for the kids the other day, took some strawberries, put them in there, crushed the strawberries up, added some yogurt, whirled it around, and I used a product that I'll show you in a couple of slides to make some frozen yogurt bar treats. So those are a fantastic, again, way to cool off in the summer. We also have these really super cool, there it is, emoji cookie cutters. So think about if you got a Play-Doh area, if you got a sensory area, or if you want to do salt dough. So have your kids love emojis right now. Emojis are so popular. So why not make some salt dough emoji cookies, let the kids paint them up, and then write a story about the adventure that their emoji has gone on. Or as you can see over on the side here, they've done these ones with cookies and a blob of chocolate on the back to make little cookie pops. What a fun end of the year treat. You can also make stuff. Do you remember when we used to make, who remembers Jell-O jigglers? So you make Jell-O with like 2/3 the regular amount of water. See if there's any Jell-O jiggler fans out there. Anybody remember those? No, crickets. Yeah, it's an old treat. So you can actually use these. If you keep them sort of cookie cutter side up, you can actually pour Jell-O into those and plop them out and make little Jell-O jiggler emojis, which you're going to want to eat up pretty quick because otherwise they're great for science class as a little petri dish alternative. You can also use these to use the cookies to make ice cream sandwiches. But as I was saying, if you make your little salt dough cookie, dry it up, bring it back in for the kids, they could stick a popsicle stick on the back, and all of a sudden you've got super cheap puppets. And they could do a little puppet show in the classroom or out under a tree because it's just too hot to be in our classrooms right now. So this is the product that I was telling you about, and I'm going to see if I can get to load up. I'm hoping that the screen that you're seeing, yes, fantastic. So this should load up a little video for you to show you how this little snack bar maker. So this is one of the brand new products. If you are in Shop Talk tonight, you're going to see two products that have just launched on June the 1st, which I share with you. Let's see if we can get this going. I'm curious if you're going to get sound on your end. There's that measuring cup we talked about. Okay, I'm going to switch back out of that. So I'm just curious, as you watch that snack bar, the first time I saw that snack bar maker video, I thought of so many cool things that I could do in my classroom. Did anybody else think of anything as they were watching that you could use, how you could use that in your classroom? Remember we talked about doing a salsa competition? Why not do a granola bar? Strike the children. No, don't strike the children. Maybe to keep the children from going on strike, maybe you could make your own little granola bars at home. And so if your blood sugar doesn't drop, you're less likely to strike the children. But what about letting the kids do a favorite chocolate bar recipe? So they could put their own favorite fixings. If they're doing a really good job, they could do their favorite fixings. You could have chocolate bar day in your classroom. What about a little fundraiser with healthy granola bars? I know if I was watching the chocolate bar one and I thought, okay, well, if I'm in the classroom, I don't have necessarily access to a freezer where it says freeze for 10 minutes. What about if I just brought in a cooler full of ice? So I could put the chocolate into that mold and, you know, just tuck it in the cooler full of ice for 10 to 15 minutes and that'll freeze up the chocolate or solidify the chocolate and you're ready to go. All right, any other thoughts on what you could do with those granola bars? Yeah, maybe just eat them, Missy. Right, and at this time of year, we're all running out of ideas for what to put in our teacher snack grab bag. I know, Margaret. I wish that we could do so. I'm kind of watching the chat on the side. I'm wondering if you guys want to unmute a little bit. You guys are welcome to pop in and ask any questions. Yeah, Marla, I'm thinking devour them. Yeah, have a little something fresh in my teacher bag, right? So the other thing to keep in mind, if you really want a super pampered teacher classroom, We also have an ice cream maker that, again, it can make soft serve ice cream in about 20 minutes in your classroom. No freezer required. You just make sure that your base is frozen up before you come in. We also have a Quixicle maker now that will make up to 6 Quixicles, and they take about 10-12 minutes to freeze. So again, if you've got some students you really want to reward them for something fantastic, rather than the freezies full of sugar that the parents call the school about because you're giving their kids sugar, you could make them some healthy juice. And actually what you can do is, if you go back to that manual food processor, you can actually puree up fruit and have the kids make their own colored layered popsicles. And of course, who doesn't love, I'm waiting for them to show up. There we go, ice cream bars. Do-it-yourself ice cream bars. So how fun would that be? There's actually a sandwich cookie maker where you bake your sandwich cookies in the oven, and then you assemble your very own ice cream bars. All right, we're at 7:30. I think that is almost enough about the classroom. I'm just wondering, are there any questions? Are there any great thoughts that you had, ideas that you'd like to share? Ways that I'd love to hear, are there ways that you bring food or cooking into your classrooms right now? And I know sometimes it can be tricky with allergies and things. But for example, if you looked at the snack bars with the Cheerios, they talked about a nut butter. You could absolutely use something like a Wow butter that's a non-peanut alternative to bring that into your classroom. Does anybody ever cook with their students? Has anybody ever had a group like Chef à l'École come into your classroom and do some cooking with your students? Have you ever thought about sitting down with your students and coming up with having the kids talk about their cultural background? Nice, Ashley, I love that. Yeah, because so much of culture is food, and culture is so big in our curriculum. So it's a matter of how can we, and kids love food, they love to eat. When we all travel, we talk about the great things that we saw, that we did, but also that we ate on our trips. So that's something that's really great to bring that sort of real connection into the classroom and let the kids really talk about it. It also allows them, when you look at comparing, if you're bringing something like what Ashley does, if you're bringing madeleines into the classroom as sort of that French dessert treat from France, ask the kids, what are their cultures? What sort of things do they have for dessert in their culture? What do they make with their family at home? What's their favorite recipe? They bring a recipe from home. Again, do some procedural writing and create a little classroom recipe book. So create, and even if they're bringing in, what a great challenge would it be to say, okay, let's take what my family likes to have as a treat or as a favorite food to eat at home. Can we find something that links to the French cultural link that's in the particular curriculum level for your grade? Can you find the kids find a similar recipe from that Francophone culture and do a side-by-side recipe book? Yeah, that's so much fun to assign a project. I remember when I was in, I think it was grade 12, I had got this crazy idea to do this crazy project on all the different regions, the culinary, well, the geographical regions of France and their culinary specialties. So what dishes, what foods were typical from that region. And I actually, God love my mother who took me to the grocery store and put up with this. I actually made, I think it was a 17-dish spread that I brought into my classroom to let my classmates taste all the different foods from all the different regions of France. Yeah, pudding chômeur, that's a fantastically easy one. Yeah, I'm trying to remember, Ashley, what is in pudding chômeur? Is there eggs in that one? I'll give Ashley a second to type. Butter, sugar, eggs, vanilla, maple syrup. Yeah, so I think it'd be really interesting to take a look because I know often if you take some ground flax seeds and soak them in water, those are often a great egg substitute. And I'm sure with the way that the food sensitivities and things like that are more prevalent, I'll bet if you went on to Google and looked for a flour baking powder, so you could certainly do gluten-free milk. There's all sorts of dairy alternatives. Heavy cream, there's actually, there's rice, soy, and I'm trying to think of the other heavy cream alternatives that you can get. I've also even found recently a coconut milk-based sweetened condensed milk. So there's all sorts of different options around out there now. So again, that's a great sort of conversation to have in class. What do people eat in different regions? But then to help a student with some of those sensitivities feel included, let's make something that, you know, that everybody can enjoy. Missy used to have an entire cuisine unit, right? How amazing is that? And the other thing you can do when you put together that menu, all of a sudden you can have a restaurant in your class. And so another thing that I was thinking of is, why not make pizzas, right? And you can even do them on, you know, just as simple like a Greek pita bread, a Greek flatbread, and you have your students say, I like, I don't like. And if you really don't want to bring food into your classroom, because a lot of people are hesitant to do that, you can cut it out, cut pizza shapes out of paper, cut pictures out of the different vegetables and toppings you might put on your pizza, and then you can have the kids run their own pizza stand in the classroom. A lot of times local pizza joints will actually provide you with some pizza boxes. And so you can have the kids go order their pizza, have somebody back in the kitchen. So if I'm the serveur, I go to my friend, I take their order for pizza. I then have to take it back in the kitchen, communicate that to my chef in the kitchen, who's going to put the things on the pizza, gives it to me. Maybe they put what I put. Maybe they throw a little red herring in there, put some anchovies, or put something that wasn't ordered on top of the pizza. I check the order. I take it back to the customer. Maybe we've done that on purpose. Maybe now we're teaching the customer to say, you know, I didn't order that. I don't like that. I'm allergic to that. I'm just looking to see what entire unit. Yeah, cookbooks are fantastic. Yeah, and Ratatouille is a fun one on actual. Yeah. It's always nice to bring that a little bit of video into your classroom, right? Because it gets the kids hearing different accents, different speeds of French. But food is a language that we all use to connect. So again, if you can bring that into the classroom, if you can let the kids talk about what are their cultural foods that they eat at home, what are their favorite foods, what are their likes, their dislikes, it's preparing them with all those real life skills for if they go out and their parents take them on a trip to a French-speaking region, all of a sudden they can impress their parents and they can order off the menu. They can say what they like, they don't like. Yeah, food is a language. Food is absolutely a language. And food is a way that we show our connection to people. It's a way that we show that we care about people. So again, it's such a great way to bring that into, oh yeah, 100-foot journey would be so interesting. Absolutely. And there's so many great, as well, social justice things that you can do linked to food. So you can talk about local food banks. One of the products I'll be showing you in a minute, for purchase of that product, Pampered Chef actually donates. Same with when somebody makes an order through Pampered Chef, they always have the option to round up their order to the nearest dollar, and it gives a little money to a local food bank. So that's a great thing to talk about with the students. How does food connect us? How does food shortage, food supply, how does that impact on us? And you know, what can we do with social justice products in our neighborhoods? So now that we've got about 23 minutes left, let's pamper you guys. So here are my suggested ingredients in the Pampered Teacher's Toolkit. So this is kind of, I wrote this recipe, and this is kind of how I imagine our school year is going right now. Is we are tired teachers that taking away all our time, add a huge helping of stress, place, overheat, and poke repeatedly. How many of you are feeling like you're right there right now? You've got report cards coming, you've got parents calling, the kids are tired, everybody is tired, right? And so what I'd like to do with the last little chunk of our time together is just give you ways to de-stress your life, to make things easier, to keep you healthy, to give you some ideas thinking into the fall as well to get yourselves nice and healthy. So out of curiosity, what is your biggest challenge in the kitchen, and how many of you have hit that, oh, did I forget to eat, or did I forget to eat anything other than the candy in my desk drawer, and now it's 4 o'clock and I'm crashing and I've got to go home and take care of the family? Anybody ever find yourself in that situation where you're saying, oh, I packed a lunch, but then I spent my whole lunch hour with the kids? but I've got that bag of licorice in my drawer. I've got that bag of chips in my desk drawer. And so I'll just chew on that to get myself through. And I don't know why the kids are so exhausting and I'm so frustrated with them by that last half hour of the day. Can't imagine what's going on other than, oh yeah, right, did I forget to eat today? And so these are some of, I did this for something else recently, but these are some of my very favorite products that have made my life super easy and that I've had sort of for, yeah, cheese crackers, yeah, for emergencies, Ashley, which at this time of year, the emergency is like it's Tuesday and I didn't bring lunch. That's generally what my emergency is this time of year because I'm so busy and rushing around. So my garlic press, I've had for about 20 years. It still looks good as new. Ceramic egg cooker I'm going to talk to you about. Popcorn maker we already saw. Manual food processor. There's a whole new line of rock and of cookware. So we were talking about things that have changed in the last 10 to 20 years. All of the cookware, all of the knives, it's all been redone. But all of the stoneware, which is one of the things that Pampered Chef is most known for, still available. If you've never seen a Pampered Chef rubber scraper, this mix and scraper, it is silicone and has slightly beveled edges, and it will get every last drop of everything out of a bowl. They're absolutely fantastic. Also because they're silicone, they're not going to melt if you're stirring something in a pot. They're not going to pick up and hold the color of your pasta sauce, and they are going to last you. Again, when I got about the same time I got my garlic press, it's about 20 years old, still looks almost brand new. So my 110%, got it here beside me to show you, favorite busy person Pampered Chef product is the ceramic egg cooker. And I think, Steve, you picked up one of these this spring, right? And so this is amazing for, I need that breakfast on the go. I need some good protein to get my day started and take me on my way. You literally, so you can take this at home, and if you are in a huge rush in the morning, the night before, take your ceramic egg cooker, wrap a couple of eggs up in a paper towel, tuck them inside, make yourself a little baggie with whatever your favorite omelet ingredients are, pop the lid on. Now this lid does not sit tight, so I always say put a couple little elastics or put it in. One of the things I do with it is I have the little, this little carry lunch bag that's actually supposed to be for the make and take mason jar, but the ceramic egg cooker fits inside it really perfectly. So I have that ready to go in my fridge. So if I have one of those mornings, especially with 2 small children, where I know it's going to be a struggle to get breakfast before I get out the door, I have this ready to go in my fridge. And when I get to, when I get to school or to the board office in the morning, crack my eggs in there, add my fixings, mix it up, make sure I break that yolk, throw it in the microwave for a couple of minutes, and I have a fresh omelet. And the fantastic thing, yeah, Missy, do you have one of these? They're so fantastic, right? And what I love is that it's ceramic. So when I've now made my breakfast and I run off to the classroom and all of a sudden there's like a parent call that I find on the way, or there's somebody waiting to talk to me, this, that, whatever, the ceramic will actually keep it warm. Now, Missy, have you made anything other than the omelet in yours? Because there's also recipes on the website. You can make oatmeal in these. You can make, as you can see on the screen there, there's little individual sized muffins. And then my very favorite in the evening, there's actually an absolutely amazing recipe on the website for a chocolate mug cake. It comes out super thick like a chocolate torte. So you can make yourself a really decadent chocolate dessert, but you don't have a whole big cake sitting in your kitchen. You actually have a reasonable sized treat. Yeah, oatmeal, apple, ooh, yeah, the apple crumb cake is great. You can do French toast as well. French toast is a really nice one to do in there too. Again, you can have your egg, you can have your bread, some cinnamon or some apple, all that good stuff already sitting in there, ready to go as soon as you get to school. You know, a lot of people do that, the idea of like the soak overnight French toast. So you could totally mix up your French toast ingredients in there before you leave the house in the morning. Have the bread soaking in there so it really soaks up all that nice, delicious flavor, and then pop it in the microwave when you get to school. Add your little container of maple syrup, and you have just started yourself off for the best day ever. So I would highly recommend, busy, crazy teachers, grab yourself one of those. And the other thing that I was delighted to discover when I started using it is it's not nearly as hard to clean as I thought it would be. So I'll often give it just a little wipe or a little spray. So again, you can have a little oil on a paper towel in a Ziploc bag or in a little container as well. Just give it a little coating of oil before you put your eggs in. But then I find it super easy because of the way that the food cooks and steams inside. Super, right, Missy? Super easy cleanup. I had somebody who, she actually bought one from me because she said she was so tired of finding coffee mugs, because she liked to do sort of the omelet in the coffee mug idea. And she was so tired of filling up her morning coffee and finding little bits of egg still in her mug. So this is a fantastic alternative to that. Such easy cleanup. So here's a list of 7 things that you can make. Now, number 7, when it says poached eggs, you do still need to break the yolk a little bit. Otherwise, it will explode and blow the lid off in your microwave. But you can actually put a little bit of egg in there. Number 6, haven't tried that yet, but an individual little cobbler or crisp. So you could actually throw some fruit in there, a little bit of crisp topping, and make yourself a mini apple or strawberry rhubarb right now. The rhubarb is just out in season. Make yourself a little strawberry rhubarb. These are all fantastic little tiny, keep yourself healthy, you know, all about moderation treats that are fantastic at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night when you're stuck writing report cards. And you just need a little treat and you don't have more than a couple of minutes to take your break and make yourself something delicious. It's such a great thing to have in your kitchen. Yeah, so that egg sandwich, wait till I show you. This is our second brand new June 1st product. So for anybody who loves the Egg McMuffin drive-thru but doesn't always have time to shop, let's give this a second to load up and wait till you see this little treat. And the other thing, Missy, that I was thinking about this one, it's larger than the ceramic egg cooker, but it would still be great for all of those other things that you normally do in the ceramic egg cooker. But it'll give you an even bigger. You could totally do, yeah. You could totally do like a double version of that chocolate mug cake in there. So chocolate mug cake to share with a friend. So Missy, did you order that when it just came out on June the 1st? Yeah, good call. So this is the other thing that's sort of one of my kitchen go-tos. It's the pancake blender bottle. And I have kids that love pancakes. We often do pancake breakfast at the school, or if you're doing crepes. This is fantastic because this is your bowl, this is your whisk for mixing, this is your ladle or your measuring cup for pouring, all in one fantastic tool. And if you can see on the side there, I'll just zoom a little bit, it actually has a recipe for either 12 pancakes or 6 pancakes right on the side. And so it's literally as simple as you decide if you want 6 or 12. So if I'm making 12 pancakes, I pour my milk or dairy alternative up to there. It says add salt, do it or skip it. Fill it up to there with flour. Add 2 scoops of baking powder, 4 scoops of sugar. What's the scoop? Oh, look. There's your measuring spoon, which is the little cap lid. Add a couple of eggs, and then it has this great little widget in the bottom that you put in before you start it, and that's what you use to stir. Okay, so you shake the bottle. Now the tricky thing is because you put baking powder in, it's going to build up pressure. So about every 30 seconds, you just let that pressure out. And then after a minute or two, when you got it nicely mixed, you just pour that right into your pan, and you've got amazing, super easy, super fast pancakes. So whether it's Saturday morning or Wednesday morning, you can have pancakes ready to go in no time. And pancakes actually freeze really well and are really great reheated in the toaster. So you could make yourself a big batch of your favorite pancakes on the weekend, throw some chocolate chips, throw some fresh fruit in there, and then freeze them with little sheets of wax paper in between them. Bring that frozen Ziploc bag of pancakes to school with you on Monday morning, and then all you have to do is pop them in the toaster in the staff room, and you have a pancake breakfast right there at school. So the other thing that I would love to share with you as we're slowly running out of time is all of this great stuff to keep you healthy. So this is, you know, when we get into the spring, we're tired of eating leftovers out of the fridge. We want something healthy. I absolutely adore my Make and Take salad jar. It makes my lunches fresh, healthy, easy. You just layer in, put your lettuce, put some fixings, put a protein on the top. You can actually put dressing in the lid. The lid is watertight. You can get it with the fork and spoon. This is my You're on Shop Talk, so you get the secret fork and spoon trick. The fork and spoon clip together for easy carrying, but when you're ready to eat your salad out of the jar, you actually clip them together reversed. So fork facing one way, spoon facing the other way, clip them together, and it gives you an extender fork that will get right to the bottom of the jar. So that could be your lunch. You can actually get it as a whole set as well that has the salad jar, that handy little lunch tote that I was showing you that's perfect for your ceramic egg cooker, and a little snack jar to throw either some seeds, some dried fruit, some fresh fruit, or a really great one is you just put a layer of hummus in the bottom and put some cut veggies in it, and you've got a fantastic protein-packed snack to keep you going right through the busy school day. Get yourself a spiralizer and you've kicked your salad up a notch. This next one, if you're familiar with cold brew coffee, we actually have a cold brew coffee pitcher. So what you do is you put your coarse grounds, of Bodum style coffee grounds, in the bottom, fill it up with cold water, you leave it for 24 hours in your fridge, and now you've got, rather than what every teacher has with that cup of used to be hot, cold coffee sitting on the edge of your desk, you now have a lovely, not bitter, not sad about life, cold brew coffee. Throw some ice in it, and on those days when your classroom is well up over 30 degrees, you've got something to keep you cold and going all day long. When you get home at the end of the day and you're ready to celebrate being done report cards, there's a whole selection of wine tools on the website. Again, make yourself some kettle corn, make yourself a little chocolate mug cake. And the other thing that I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of is that we have a huge selection of fast and fresh weeknight meals. So again, when you go to that website, you can search meals by category, and one of the categories is 30 minutes or less. So those are for those busy nights when you do not have time to make your gourmet meal because you were surviving until the end of the school year, but you want something healthy on the table at home. Go click that 30 minutes or less link. There's also all of the season's best. Last fall, winter, the season's best was all one-pot dinners. So one of the things that I've been doing for some of my customers is I do Facebook shows for them and for their friends where we really just highlight one-pot dinners or quick and easy weeknight meals. So I show you a whole bunch of recipes, tricks, strategies for getting those weeknight meals together, planned for, prepped, and on the table in 30 minutes or less. So there's an example of one of the recipes. This uses one of our new pieces of our cookware line. So Pampered Chef has cutting-edge research people who are putting together our products, and what we just come out with this season is a line of stainless steel cookware that actually has a laser engraved nonstick coating on the inside. So that's a coating that's QFA free, so that means it's safe. It allows a little bit of the stainless steel to peek through so you get a nice sear on things, but it's also non-stick, so it's quick cleanup, and it can go right in the oven. So you can have an absolutely delicious, healthy meal done super fast, and the cleanup is as easy as can be. We have brownie pan. Love, love, love. Make brownies, make mini meatloaves, make mini quiches, and because they're square, they freeze beautifully in the freezer. You don't have a bunch of little muffin-shaped, you know, hard to get the air out of the bag, hard to find a nice spot for them to sit. You have little squares. They stack, they wrap, they freeze super easily. Again, you could have some of these mini quiches sitting in the freezer at school ready to go for those mornings or those lunch times when you haven't had a chance to get something ready to go and you just need something quick and healthy right there for you to get you through the end of the year. Strawberry season is coming. There's a recipe on the website for easy strawberry shortcake. So again, I love to cook. I love to be in my kitchen. Nothing drives me crazier than when it's June and I don't have time to prepare the things that I love and to use those fresh ingredients. So in the middle of June, this strawberry shortcake is unbelievably fast. You actually start it on the stovetop. You chop your strawberries, put them in this rock crock dish, which I'll show you what that is in a second. Throw it on the stovetop to get the strawberries sort of melted down into that nice sort of syrupy, juicy base. And then the top comes together super easily. It's literally fast rising flour and heavy cream. That's it. That's all. You sprinkle a little cinnamon sugar on top, throw it in the oven, and you have a strawberry shortcake. It looks like you spend a bunch of time in your kitchen. Your family is super excited. You're enjoying cooking, but it's fast, super easy, and the cleanup is a snap because those rock crocks actually go into the dishwasher. So this is, we like to call it almost like a stoneware 2.0. So it's clay, it's heat resistant to 752 degrees Fahrenheit, which means it can actually go, other than the lids, it can actually go on your barbecue. You can go stovetop, microwave, fridge, freezer, oven, broiler, and there's even a slow cooker base. And then when you're all done with it, it goes into your dishwasher. So nothing is more fantastic this time of year than a piece of cookware that you can throw in the dishwasher and not spend 20 minutes scrubbing it when you need to be. I was going to say would rather be, but nobody would rather be, but when you need to be doing report cards. Really quick public service announcement. If you are still using a wire bristle brush on your barbecue, please, please, please order from me. Go to Costco, go to your home hardware, get yourself a wooden grill scraper. There are far too many stories of people with wire bristles caught in their throat. Don't be that person, okay? No, don't use that wire. When Pampered Chef came out with these last spring, you know, I love Pampered Chef. I was like, oh yeah, that's great. I'll get one of those. Fantastic, whatever. I was actually out at my barbecue. I looked in the bottom of my barbecue because I picked up my bristle brush to say, well, you know, like, is my bristle brush okay? Is it still in good shape? I picked it up, noticed that about 2/3 of the bristles were missing, looked down inside my barbecue, and I could see all of those little broken off bristles all sitting down in the bottom of the grill. So now you imagine the sticky residue on your grate. One of those bristles gets stuck in that sticky residue. You throw a nice piece of hamburger or steak on there. That bristle's now in your food and it's going to be stuck in your throat. So please get rid of your wire bristle brush. I don't buy one of these from us. They're fantastic. They're made of solid white oak, which we like to joke is also good on old school vampires in a pinch. Costco sells them for about the same price. Home Hardware has them. Get rid of that wire brush. Get yourself a wooden scraper for when you are through report cards and it is barbecue patio season. So we've got about 3 minutes left. I'm curious if anybody has any questions. Anything you saw tonight you're not sure about? How much is the scraper? I believe it's $19 plus tax and shipping. So if you are going in tonight, I am going to pop over to a different screen, which I'm not sure if that's going to mess with what you guys are seeing right now. Actually, what I'm going to do for you guys at the very end, yeah, absolutely worth it. Absolutely, for $19, absolutely worth it. Get one for you. Get one for all the, you know, those wonderful dads in your life, because Father's Day is coming up. So give one to all of them. Get one for up at the cottage. Get one for your backyard. Get one for your teacher friends to say have a great, you know, have a great summer, have a great barbecue. I am going to put up, before I forget, there is a link that you can use if there happens to be anything that you saw tonight that you would like to have in your kitchen. I'm going to put a link up in the Facebook event page. But Steve, if you can type this really quick into the chat box as well. It's pamperedchef.ca/party/shop talk. So super easy to remember, pamperedchef.ca/party/shop talk. So we will make sure that people have that out there. And I'm just wondering, yeah, that was the site. I'm just wondering if we've got, let's see, who else do we still have on here? I think we're dwindling in our numbers. Does anybody else have a question tonight? Just trying to see how I can see who is still. Thanks, Marla. I think the biggest thing to remember at this time of year is just hang in there, keep yourself. Yeah, none in calories. I love it. Yeah, well, it depends on how many chocolate mug cakes you make yourself. But really, this time of year, it's about looking for the shop talk in the Facebook event. Yep, there you go. Thanks, Steve. Really, this time of year, it's about looking after yourselves, looking after your colleagues, and getting through until summer. So I'm really hoping that tonight you got a few ideas, you got a few thoughts for how you could pamper your classroom, thoughts for how you can pamper yourself, and just kind of keep yourself going until we hit the end of the school year. So, merci beaucoup tout le monde. I'm so glad you were able to join me. I see that it is 8 o'clock, so have a fantastic evening.
Thank you so much for taking the time to go through that. That was actually fantastic. I enjoyed both halves. I like how you separated it. The first half, great practical things we can do in our classroom, and then pampering ourselves. The last 30 minutes being great ways we can take care of ourselves, because without healthy selves, we can't be effective teachers.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, thank you everybody so much for joining us on Shop Talk this week. Keep an eye out on some pretty cool topics that are coming down the pipe as we wrap up this school year and then start to focus on gearing up for the next year. But let's not rush into that right now. Let's try to concentrate on our upcoming summer, which is going to be fantastic. So thank you again, Josette, for taking your time, for bringing us into your lovely kitchen, and for showing us all these great things. And remember that website that we just put down there. Copy and paste it, everybody. Like she had the great graphic there that said that its shops open up all the time. So that link is open for you if you want to check anything out there. So please do.
Thanks for coming. Merci tout le monde.
Merci. Oh, so Missy, your school year's over too? There's a few people that have. Yeah, okay, cool. Your kids.
Does that mean they start up earlier in the fall?
Oh yeah, most likely they'll start in August.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be so hot here. Oh my gosh, if we did August here, oh my goodness.
So Missy, where are you, out of curiosity?
So if I recall, Missy's in the States. I'm not sure where though.
Yeah, because I know a lot of them down there are done for the year.
Okay, Missouri.
Yeah, I bet it is hot by now.
Bonjour, Jen. Misery. Misery.
It's very misery, exactly. Especially this time of year. But you know what? Come up here in February. It's pretty chilly up here. We would get that heat right out of your system.
Oh yeah, it can be hot in Maryland too, for sure.
Yeah.
So I want to say hi to Jen. Jen just joined us. Jen, where do you teach? If you want to type in your chat box and let us know.
I am in Esco, Minnesota.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Unfortunately, hi. Just so you know, we just actually wrapped up Shop Talk, but I'm going to guess that it's probably 7 p.m. your time, right?
It is.
Yeah. So the show is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unfortunately, but we can put that link up again. And then also I did my best to actually record this, so we will be able to hopefully go through it and post it, which will be great. So what was the link again? So Pampered Chef.ca, was it .ca /party/shop talk? Is that correct? Josette, is that right?
Yeah, I've got your sound is popping in and out on me.
Oh, okay. Is that website correct?
The website is correct. Now I'm just thinking for anybody that is down in the U.S.
Yes.
They cannot order through that site, but I'm just trying to get right now a link to a consultant that I've done some back and forth with, who is down in East Coastal Georgia. And her name is Alexis, and I'm just trying to see if I can find. If you go onto Facebook, I'm going to type in the chat box. There's her Facebook. There we go. There's her Facebook link down in the States, because unfortunately the Canadian and American consultants, like Pampered Chef Canada, Pampered Chef US, are separate. However, she is absolutely fantastic. Like I said, she's in Southeast Coastal Georgia, and Pampered Chef Canada ships to anywhere in Canada. Pampered Chef in the US ships to anywhere in the US. So if you saw anything there that you would really like to add to your collection to get you through till June and beyond, Alexis would be more than happy to hook you up and help you out. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that I can find for her actual. Yeah, if you go to, I'll give you her link tree. There. So anybody who's down in the States who saw something and says, I absolutely need to have that in my kitchen, that link that I just posted up there, copy and paste it, and that will get you to Alexis, and she would be delighted to help you out.
Yeah, so Jen, definitely thank you for joining us, and I hope you'll join us for future Shop Talks. Shop Talks are almost always at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we have